And we're talking about Shiloh Hendrix and her recent comments to a young little black kid, and Brandon Tatum on Stephen A. Smith. So my thoughts on this whole Shiloh Hendrix debacle, I really don't care. I really don't. I don't know. I feel like part of me, here's this lady holding her kid. I don't care what color she is, holding her kid, saying all types of foul language in front of her little baby. So for whatever else came out of her mouth, I wouldn't surprised. Okay, if you would use that kind of language in front of your own kid, I'm not looking for you to, be the most upstanding person in front of other people's kids. Okay, so it really was not a big deal to me. However, since she has gone on to raise this money, and we have the Carmelo Anthony thing, I think some white folks are like, I can't say anything in public about feeling put upon by the black folks, but I can anonymously donate this money. And I honestly don't think that people are donating because they're racist. I think they're donating because they're sick of black people bothering them and accusing them of, being racist. Every time, they happen to catch somebody, black people want to catch them saying a little something that they didn't like, cancel them, put them on blast, make them lose their jobs. I think white people are like, yeah, we're through with that, so I'm gonna donate. It's kind of maybe a little bit of a coward way to push back, but it is pushing back.
I don't think, to me, it's not really the N-word more than it's just it's a child, and you should probably talk to the parents maybe. But I mean, I don't condone what she did. However, I understand white people are being forced to walk on eggshells, and it's ridiculous. At the end of the day, somebody told me today. Somebody said that my entire life I've said all kind of racial things about white people, and I've never had a black person tell me, "Don't say that," or "That's wrong." He said my entire life. He says, so that lets me know that I've seen white people, when somebody racial says something, or somebody white says something racial, every white person in the area doesn't agree with them. White people chime in and say, "Don't say that, that's wrong." So I don't know. I just think that black people talk so crazy, and they're so brazen, and they have the media on their side, and they have Hollywood on their, like, it's so much power behind what black people are doing. Yeah. Till it's almost like white people are just getting frustrated and fed up. The frustration that black folks claim to have is not really true, because white folks don't bother black people. They just don't. Black people go out of their way to go to an establishment that's all white and proceed to hop on the table and start twerking. And then the moment the white person says, "Get off the table," it's racism. So yeah, I don't agree with what the lady said. I don't agree with the lady, talking to the child like that. Yeah. However, but black people have put white people in this position where they have to be perfect. They're almost like at a godlike level, to where a white person can't get frustrated. They can't have a bad day. They can't be tired of black people. White folks are being forced to just sit there and take it every single day. And then when a white person is about to go to bed and laying down and cut the TV on, it's somebody black on TV blaming them for their problems in their life. So at the end of the day, it's just, I don't know. I understand their frustration. I do. And black people are becoming increasingly obnoxious, increasingly irritating, increasingly flagrant. Like, black people are getting out of control, especially since Trump got in office. And so at the end of the day, this white woman can't pay for the sins of every white person. This is what black folks are doing. Anytime a white person does something, black folks make it go viral. Meanwhile, Pookie and Ray Ray are spinning the block every single day. Dead bodies everywhere, abortions everywhere, STDs, kids can't read, and black folks ain't saying nothing. So yeah. I don't agree with her, but I understand.
It has to really get under the skin of a white person. When you go home, as Blanche said, and you look on television. I mean, everyone knows. We know who the troublemakers are. We know that, black culture, black folk. We know that black folks have a violence problem. They have an aggression problem. They have
Hey,
a
can you
crime
say that?
problem.
Are you allowed to say that, Chuck?
Exactly. Well, it's funny
Ooh.
because if I'm allowed to say it, maybe they'll call me names, they'll call me a sellout or something or another. I mean, who knows? But I guess when a white person says it, I guess there's a whole separate set of consequences that comes along with that. But it has to be very maddening and frustrated that you know the truth, but you can't say it. And to your point, Keisha, when you say that maybe this is their way of communicating all of the GoFundMe dollars that she's raised. It's like, yeah, I may not agree with what you said. It's certainly wrong for you to essentially pick on a child. So, especially an autistic child. But maybe she didn't know the child was autistic. So that's
Probably
not here nor
didn't.
there. But it's like, yeah, I don't agree with what you did. But, the cancel stuff, somebody's picking on your 5-year-old child, and you say the first thing that comes to mind that you think is going to hurt that other person,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Right? A white person gets upset at you. They want to call you the N-word because they know it'll hurt your feelings. They may not have this just broad opinion about blacks. They hate all blacks. It's like, no, they just mad at you right now. You're
Right.
black and they're upset with you. And so if they call you the N-word, who knows? Yeah,
Mhm.
but again, it's just in that moment, they're just upset with you. And oftentimes, again, when you have these interracial conflicts, that's the first thing a person wants to bring up, the race of the opposite party, because they know it will offend them. They know it will upset them. And who knows if it has anything to do with race when it's all said and done. They're just angry with you in that moment.
Mm.
And so that's why I'm just like, whatever, man. I mean, she wasn't talking to one of my kids. So what am I supposed to do? Um,
Hey, Chad, if that would have happened to one of your kids, what would you have done?
To the extent that the kid may have been autistic, I was talking to my wife and I was saying, it's a situation where this woman is clearly in the wrong for speaking to a 5-year-old in that way. That just shows that this is a woman who lacks self-control, who lacks discernment. So she was wrong, obviously. It goes without saying for what she did. I feel that the guy who recorded her and tried to make her go viral and tried to accuse her of a hate crime was in the wrong. I believe that the mob on the internet was in the wrong to dox her. I believe, to Keisha's point, that the people who are raising money and everything because they are trying to show how they stand in solidarity and X, Y, and Z. Like, I mean, find a better cause. But when it comes to the parents of the 5-year-old, I think that you don't really see a lot of commentary in this debate as it pertains to them. And if I had a child who was autistic or who was severely on the spectrum, it would stand to reason that if you're going to take them into a public space, and what their tendencies are, then the onus is kind of on you as their parent to ensure or to keep a watchful eye or to keep them ever in your peripheral to make sure that they're not going into people's stuff, especially if that's something that that particular child is known to do. Now, if you are a parent who has an autistic child, you have 3 other children, and one of the children are, have your attention, so you're preoccupied with that, and something happens. I mean, you can't be omniscient, but at the same time, you would hope that adults would have enough judgment or better judgment to resolve a situation before it ever gets to, now we're talking about it on the internet. And when it comes to, those of you who are white folks and who feel as if you've been put upon and all your life, you felt like you've had to walk on eggshells around Black people and the bullying and the violence and everything else. And now, we're just fed up. We're done, as as Nick Fuentes. So we're just done. Like if that's you,
Over, man, we're done.
if you feel as if like you're just kind of fed up, you're done, and you're listening to the likes of Nick Fuentes and others, if you are somebody who doesn't know the Lord or who rejects Christianity, then I'm not talking to you. But if you're someone who claims to be a Christian, claims to be a follower of Christ, my warning to you is to not be so caught up and swept up in this debate that's raging, which I think the devil has his hands all over.